Will Zenless Zone Zero affect Wuthering Waves? This is a question that has been asked a ton in the community. There's so many videos out at the moment saying, oh, ZZZ is going to kill Wuthering Waves, or Wuthering Waves is going to kill ZZZ. But honestly, I just don't think that's the case, and that's why I'm making a video on it today. So if you don't know, Zenless Zone Zero is a new gacha game coming out by Hoyoverse. Hoyoverse being the creators of Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Honkai Impact 3rd, so many popular gacha games out at the moment, and this is just another one that they've added. Now, Zenless Zone Zero got announced ages ago. It was almost 2 years ago that it got announced, and they've spent a lot of time working on it. I mean, they've made a lot of changes. They made some changes to Nicole. I made a previous video on this. They actually changed her character model to make it look a little bit like less sexual, which was a little bit weird. But again, people weren't happy with that. Now they finally settled on a release date being July 4th. But how is this going to affect Wuthering Waves? Because they have been in a little bit of a war at the moment, and it's been kind of funny to see. If you can see here, 6 hours ago they released their Soldier 11 character demo. 6 hours ago, Wuthering Waves released their Resonator showcase for Jinshi, which is the funniest thing ever because it seems like the two are going at each other and probably like trying to compete with each other. Which, again, is super nice to see because we haven't really seen that from Hoyoverse in the past. Because of all the games I mentioned, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, they are massive games and they don't need to worry about a new game like Wuthering Waves coming along and destroying them because they're so big that they're not going to get destroyed. Because even if Wuthering Waves was the best game on the planet, I don't think it would even affect Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail. Maybe they'd lose a few players. It wouldn't be anything to completely bankrupt them or leave them, you know, in the mud. And that's just been the approach that Hoyoverse have had with any kind of competition. Just keep doing their own stuff and not really compete with them. But with Zenless Zone Zero, I think they've tried to be a little bit more adventurous here and actually tried to compete with Wuthering Waves. Now, before I get into this video even more, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go over to GamerSupps and use my code Kaza, where they've got a ton of cups, tubs, and even more, which are super nice. The designs are just amazing, and the flavors that are just so good. I mean, I tried Blowhole Blast the other day, it was so good, and yeah, I definitely recommend you guys try it out, and the link will be in the description. But let's get back into it. So another reason that we can kind of tell that Zenless Zone Zero is trying to compete with Wuthering Waves and the other way around is that Wuthering Waves actually brought forwards their version 1.1 release, which I'm pretty sure at my time is the 28th, it might be the 27th for the US. And again, this was just a move so that they could get in front of Zenless Zone Zero and get ahead of them and get a little bit more hype behind them. And then Zenless Zone Zero decided to respond to this by actually releasing their live stream on June 28th, meaning that they're going to be airing their live stream for version 1.0, showing off all their new stuff, all their new characters, pretty much everything they've worked on since the last beta program on June 28th, the same day as version 1.1 for Wuthering Waves, which again is just a very obvious move by Hoyoverse to compete with Wuthering Waves, and it's just great to see. Like, we don't see this much in gacha games, but it seems like these two have actually engaged in some kind of war here, and this is going to be such a fun thing to watch. Now, I'm not saying it's just Zenless Zone Zero going after Wuthering Waves, or Wuthering Waves going after Zenless Zone Zero. It's both of them. They are both actively trying to compete with each other, and actively bringing out adverts earlier and earlier, giving more rewards earlier. And this is where Hoyoverse is going to struggle. Because as you know, Hoyoverse haven't been too generous whenever it comes to rewards, especially in Genshin Impact. I mean, they've been better in Honkai Star Rail, which is just great. But if Zenless Zone Zero want to compete with Wuthering Waves, they need to be giving out as much rewards as Wuthering Waves, if not more. Because that's going to be a big factor, not only gameplay, but also rewards. And this leads me onto one of the points why Zenless Zone Zero won't kill Wuthering Waves, or Wuthering Waves won't kill Zenless Zone Zero. Because Zenless Zone Zero is a very different game to Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves, as you know, is a very like Genshin-y kind of game, except it's like more detailed and just better. The combat's so much better because it's open world. You can collect chests, do quests, all of this stuff, and it's super nice. Whereas Zenless Zone Zero is a lot different, and there is a lot less gameplay to actually play like long term. Whereas Wuthering Waves, you can go around exploring for hours and hours. You know, I've put so many hours into this game, and there's pretty much always something to do, whether that's collect chests, collect echoes, explore places, do quests, do upgrading your characters, everything like that. There's always something to do. Whereas I think Zenless Zone Zero will be one of those games that you just log in every now and again to do some like grinding or whatever for a character, and then you just leave. Because again, there isn't as much gameplay as Wuthering Waves, but this is also kind of a good thing because it means a lot of people can play this at the same time as Wuthering Waves, at the same time as any other gacha game out at the moment, and it could entice more people to come in because you don't have to play it as much. And even the team working on Zenless Zone Zero has said, hey, you're not going to have as much to play, and that's a good thing. So it's not just me saying, hey, oh, Zenless Zone Zero doesn't have much content or anything. It's actually the dev team themselves saying that, hey, you're not going to have like much playtime, but that's a good thing because it means you don't have to spend so much time on the game. And honestly, I agree. This could help Zenless Zone Zero massively because, you know, sometimes it can get really boring just doing like dailies and stuff and grinding on a game like Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail. and spending hours and hours on it. Whereas going into Zenless Zone Zero and maybe spending like an hour or two on it, you know, not even every day. I mean, you can do it like every so often. I mean, that just sounds so much better, and it could suit a lot more casual players in the future because, as you know, people like me, content creators, and even people like you who play gacha games all the time and are playing it like very often, we have the time to be playing all of these gacha games. But there's a lot of people out there who do enjoy gacha games and maybe, you know, play a couple of them, but they've got a job to do, or they've got to go to school, or they've got to go to like university or something like that, and they just don't have enough time to play the game. So a game like Zenless Zone Zero could really help because you don't have to be as invested as other games like Wuthering Waves, which is definitely going to be one of the main factors that don't have one up on Wuthering Waves. But the thing is, this won't actually affect Wuthering Waves at all because Wuthering Waves, as I said, is a different game. And if you're playing Wuthering Waves already, then you definitely have enough time to be playing Zenless Zone Zero as well. So a lot of people are just going to be playing both. I mean, I've seen a lot of comments in the past and also on the trailers saying that they're going to be just playing both, maybe even just giving Zenless Zone Zero a try, not even playing it fully. And I'm super interested in what you guys think. Are you guys going to be playing Zenless Zone Zero, or are you just going to stick to Wuthering Waves and do something else? But also, if we go to Google Trends here, Wuthering Waves has kind of fallen off a little bit underneath Genshin Impact. But again, this isn't bad at all. Wuthering Waves is still in a very, very good spot. And also, we can see it's starting to go up a little bit. It's gone up by 2 points here. It's going up with the release of version 1.1. So I hope that it overtakes Genshin Impact again with the release of version 1.1, because we've had tons of trailers and just so much more which look really, really nice, and we could see it lift the game back up. And Zenless Zone Zero is kind of flatlining here at the moment because we haven't had the live stream, but I'm sure as soon as the live stream hits and we get closer to the day of launch, which is July 4th, then hopefully we are going to see an improvement. Now, how high will Zenless Zone Zero go? I reckon it's not going to go as high as Genshin Impact, honestly. I know it's a Hoyoverse game, so it's going to be very, very popular. Let's just make that clear here. Zenless Zone Zero is going to be very successful and popular, no matter what you think about it. But honestly, I don't think it's going to do as well as Genshin. I think it's got a little bit more of a niche audience. But do I think it will do as good as the release of Wuthering Waves? Maybe. I think maybe it could do as good. Maybe it'll be a little bit under, but again, I think we're going to see a similar spike to this Wuthering Waves one with Zenless Zone Zero. So we're just going to have to monitor that in the future and see, you know, how it does. I mean, this is worldwide and in the past 90 days. But again, I think as soon as Zenless Zone Zero picks up, I think we will be like alternating between Wuthering Waves and Zenless Zone Zero in this little bit down here. So again, the whole reason why I made this video was to question, will Wuthering Waves kill Zenless Zone Zero, or will Zenless Zone Zero kill Wuthering Waves? And the answer is no. Neither of them will kill each other. I think the games will just coexist and maybe have a little bit of competition. As I said, these games are not very similar. So again, they've got different audiences, different kind of styles, and I think someone could just play both games pretty easily. Now, Zenless Zone Zero does have a lot of cool characters. They've been releasing a ton of trailers, and I really, really like the character design. It's super nice. It's much more like mature as well compared to a lot of their previous games. And I just really, really like it. It's super nice. And just the overall style, I like the urban kind of, you know, design. Really, really like that. But the same can be said for Wuthering Waves too. I mean, they've gone for a much different kind of style. It's much more like elegant and majestic. And the characters look super nice too. I mean, we've got Jinshi coming out. We've also got Changli, who looks amazing. As I said in my previous video of the billboard, we actually saw some of Changli's abilities and stuff, and she looks amazing. I just think that both games are going to do as well as each other, and that there isn't actually that much competition between them as many people think there is. So if you see any videos out there in the future saying like, Zenless Zone Zero is going to kill Wuthering Waves because of this, or the other way around, then just know that it's either clickbait or they've probably got the wrong opinion, because again, I think these games are going to coexist. Could one do better than the other? Maybe. I mean, it's really hard to tell at the moment because, you know, Zenless Zone Zero is very new and we haven't really seen any of the updates coming with it. We're going to have to find out in the live stream. But for the most part, I think they'll be in a kind of similar ballpark. And I don't think either of them will be as big as Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail at the moment. But who knows? We could see it grow in the future. So again, let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think Zenless Zone Zero is going to beat Wuthering Waves? Do you think Wuthering Waves is going to beat Zenless Zone Zero? Do you think any of them are going to do any better than Genshin or Honkai or whatever? Because I'm super interested in what you guys think. I've seen there's a lot of like differing opinions. There's been a lot of people that are saying that they're not going to touch Zenless Zone Zero at all. I mean, I can kind of get it because it is a Hoyoverse game, but I'm still going to give it a try because I'm super interested and I really like the look of some of the characters in the game. So yeah, that's about all I got for this video. If you enjoyed it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And also go down to the description below and use my code KAZA at GamerSupps, because GamerSupps are a super nice company. As I said at the start of the video, they've got some nice cups, tubs, and even more. Yeah, just go check them out. That's all. See ya.